Welcome to IHAS Photo Documentation Guidelines. This is Rich, and he's going to take you on a tour of how to properly photo document your jobs. Remember that no two jobs are the same. You want to protect yourself, and you can never take too many pictures. In this first photograph, you can see the access to the property, and that delivery to this property is going to be relatively easy. You want to take a picture of the address on the house to prove that the pictures that you are taking and the work that you are doing is on the same property. Let's go ahead and walk through a particular project. Here you can see a street view of the home from a wide angle. Again, here's the address on the property walls. Next, you can see the access to the property, and again, delivery should be easy to this property. There are cracks in this very expensive driveway. Make sure to document them with pictures. Wide, far back views of elevation showing terminations and penetrations of the home are very important. You want to take these elevation pictures from many angles and be sure to zoom in for details. You can see that this house has a weather vane. It's very important to properly photo document anything odd or unusual just to be safe. This picture clearly shows the head wall and counter flashing on the home. Take photos of anything on the roof like dormers, skylights, patios, etc. This patio is tied into the roof, and it's super important to take good pictures of this. We'll explain more about that later. Last but not least, over-document the weird and unusual things that you come across on your jobs. That concludes this chapter on access and elevation. The first photo shows a 30-pound felt and a single layer of shingles. If you have 30-pound felt, take a picture showing you taking a sample of the underlayment. Next, take a picture of the sample that you took of the 30-pound felt. Take a picture of how the gutters are attached and whether it's a spike and ferrule, hidden hanger, T-strap, or other. If there are hazards like power lines near gutters, document that as well. Document drip edge that is secured by fasteners. Types of gutters. Use magnets to demonstrate that gutters are steel versus aluminum. Document rake conditions. Be sure to lift up drip edge and document the number of layers and if any conditions exist. Overview pictures should be taken before you do anything else on the roof. This is to get familiar and get the overall feel, as if whoever looks at the pictures feels like they were there. Overview photos are also important on count discrepancies. You must be able to count flashings in one picture. Overviews also frequently pick up on something previously overlooked. Notice how angles, sunlight, and shadows show the roof's condition differently. Remember, you can never take too many pictures. Seeing how low slope roofs are tied in is very important. Bastard valleys must be documented. Try and get during construction pictures of these types of roofing. Outbuildings need to be documented from the main roof, showing proximity, access, etc. Tarping and emergency response must also be done. After the overview pictures are done, get documentation of all terminations and penetrations. When items must be disassembled, photograph and document it. Flashing and counter flashing, is it painted? Chimney flashing, counter flashing, and sealant. To put it quite simply, photograph all terminations and penetrations. Document valleys, ice and water, metal, and anything your shingles are going to cover up that you won't be able to photograph when you are done. Make sure to document low to steep slope transitions. Make sure to document all details, including evaporative coolers or air conditioning units, diverters, satellite dishes and antennas, painted flashing and vents, vent caps, and any damage to soft metals. Notice how angles, sunlight, and shadows show the details differently. Hail damage. and if you apply chalk to accentuate the damage caused by hail. Be sure to document specialty, ornamental, or custom hip and ridge, corbels, measure and document style, and specialty applications. Be sure to shingle gauge all asphalt shingle roofs. Whether it's 3-tab or dimensional, make sure to shingle gauge every single roof. Use your pitch gauge on every roof as well. If you have different pitches on different areas of the roof, make sure to photo document each and every one of them. Don't forget to label it in your field drawing. Make sure to document snow removal, framing, gussets, soffit sheathing, property protection and plastic, any harness work, fireplaces, pool protection, and tarping, valley lining, removed flashing, new head wall installation, temporary shoring, painting flashing, cricket flashing, double felt, hidden valley, and any flashing, counter flashing, or call. While the following pictures may look like just part of your progress pictures, you're going to want to document with photographs any access issues that you have within the job, such as the fence with materials on the ground, tear off on the ground in a tarp, if you have to hand carry any materials on the ground, any hand loading, if there's an outbuilding with no access, more materials on the ground, if there's tough access to the project, and any power line delivery obstruction. Take pictures of the deck being replaced and all damage, large and small. For example, here is a picture of a hole in the deck that was caused by a tree. We do not want pictures of rotten decks. We need pictures of wet decks for partial replacement. Resheathing pictures are helpful. Here is a photo of a wet deck and photos of a deck being replaced. The decking being removed and electrical disconnected. The deck being replaced. Pictures of a 1-by deck and pictures of space sheathing. If you suspect that the home was built in the mid-70s or older, double check for lead on these jobs. We strongly urge you to become lead certified so that you can comply with lead abatement and insurance companies pay well for lead removal. There are huge fines for not checking and getting caught removing lead paint incorrectly. Remember to document any property protection that you may do, such as tarping or moisture meter reading. As a contractor, some tools of the trade that you will want to have are a backpack to keep both hands free on ladders, a camera. Most new phones work well too. A clipboard with field drawing sheets, a pitch gauge, a steel tape measure, 100-foot tape, shingle gauge, and chalk.